Luke chapter 2 tells the story like this. In verse 4, so Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and the line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger, because there was no guest room available for them. You can draw out many things from the fact that Jesus was born in a manger at Christmas. A manger was where food was placed, and Jesus is our bread of life. He's our provision. He's our sustenance. He's what we need. In a manger surrounded by animals, whether it was in a cave or in something like a barn, it was far from a glorious setting. But we can draw from this reality that wherever Jesus is, no matter the circumstance or setting, he brings his glory with him, therefore making it glorious. But that's not what I want to focus on this Christmas morning. I want to ask in the most simple way possible, why was Jesus born in a manger? As we saw from the passage, it's because no one would make room. It's because no one would make room for Jesus. Over the past month, we've been in a series called Make Room, and a central thought has been you can only have that which you make room for. And on Christmas Day 2,000 years ago, no one in Bethlehem made room for Jesus. Little did the people in the town of Bethlehem know the one born that Christmas day was the one described like this in John chapter 1, verses 1 through 5. It says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." Little did they know that this wasn't truly the beginning for this child. This was the beginning of his human life, but in the beginning, he was the creator of all human life. This was God in the flesh, as a child wrapped in cloths in the arms of a lowly mother in a lowly place. In a bewildering thought, Jesus was the creator of the mother that held him. Jesus was the creator of the animals that surrounded him. Jesus was the creator of the people who made the manger with their hands and gave them the mind and the strength to do so. Jesus created the stars that were in the sky above them. This child, in eternity, made everything that exists. This child in the manger made you and those around you this morning. We've been meditating on our need to make room. And this Christmas morning, can we take a moment to rejoice in gratitude that Jesus made room? Let this sink in. You are here because Jesus made room for you in his creation. But more than that, on Christmas morning, I challenge you to also be grateful that Jesus made room for you in his salvation. This child would go on to grow up and live the sinless life that we couldn't, and he would go on from a humble manger to a humble cross and take the punishment for our sins so that we wouldn't have to. And this was the lengths that this one born at Christmas would go on to make room for you. Even though it is Christmas morning, we still on this day look on toward Easter morning and thank him that he didn't just walk out of that tomb because he could, but he did so that we would. Jesus was born in a manger because no one would make room for him. But this Christmas, I challenge you with this. Jesus made room for you in his creation, and Jesus also made room for you in his salvation. And our only proper response is the following kind. Will you make room for Jesus this Christmas? In your conversations, at your tables, in your activity. Jesus made room for you so that you might make room for him. From me to you this morning, Merry Christmas.